Welcome to the Prancing Pig Lavender Lights instructional video. In addition to the pieces that you received in your kit, you'll also, it's helpful to have a paper plate, about a dozen Q-tips. You'll need rubber bands or something to tie them together with, as well as an old credit card or old gift card. All right, we're going to start with the darkest green first. Just want to put a little bit in there, and you're going to grab your credit card and simply just kind of go back and forth, get a little bit of paint on there so that you can get some on the bottle. And you can go two directions. You can go from the bottom up. I actually prefer from the top down. It's just an easier stroke for me. Just make sure you don't start too high because you do want some empty space above. But I'm just taking the credit card and I'm going to, oh, there's my my buddy Osiris, the cat, and we are going to just keep on going around. You don't want to go real heavy. We're going to add some more paint. This is many steps, so we're just going to go lightly, evenly spaced around, and we're going to add our light green now. You're going to put that a little bit lower than the dark green spot, and we're going to kind of blend them together. So you're going to have some dark on the top and some light on the bottom, and it's going to give you a little bit of a multi-dimensional effect. So again, just when I'm looking at the bottle, I'm just trying to evenly space because we're just going to keep adding and filling. So I just kind of look for little open spaces, spots that I think would look nice. Just try to kind of blend and have both colors all around. So you want to just keep working on that and just adding those pieces. All right, now we're going to start with our purple. You're going to put the darkest purple down first, and you want to take your Q-tips. I take 4 Q-tips, and you can either put them in a rubber band or you can tie them with a little tie. Make sure that green paint is dry before you start this step. And you can take a little bit of the paint off. You don't want it too heavy on there. And you're simply going to get paint on all 4 little spots. When you have a nice even amount of paint on the end, you just want to run right up the stalk. Now you can kind of twist that. You turn it to the side, make it a little bit fatter at the bottom, get a little bit thinner. Don't worry too much about going all the way to the top. We're going to add a little bit of thinness in there with single Q-tips. But for now, you want to get the flesh of the flower, the meat of it, and just, again, we're going to evenly distribute around the bottle. You just want to move it around. We're not going to do every one of them. We're not even going to do every other one because we still have a couple more purples to come in. So you just want to do a nice, I don't know, I think I end up doing maybe 5 or 6 around the bottle, and to give the dark color base. All right, it's time for our next purple. We're going to go for the medium purple, an additional 4 little Q-tips. We'll have those tied together. I tied those with a little bag tie. And, again, we're evenly, we're distributing this evenly. So we want to kind of go in between some of the darker stalks, and we're just going to add this lavender. This is going to be the main color, that particular lavender. We're going to end up doing a lot of the flowers with this color. So the first thing that we're going to do is start to do the bases and backs of some in between each purple. And then we're also going to use the lavender on top of purples as well. So we would take it and put it on top. I'll show you that in just a second here. You can see I'm just kind of looking at it, seeing where I want color blending. It's a lot of dark there, so I decided to bring the color up a little bit. And just painting right on top of the darker purple. You don't want it to be exact because you obviously want some of that darker purple poking out and around, but just kind of going right up and over them. And you do want to go over all of the dark purples. Some of them I went over a little less, some of them I went over a little bit more. And then I'm also going to, as you can see, just basically filling in everything else. All right, and now we're on to our lightest. That light lavender is our third purple. This is going to finish it up. We're going to take a cluster of 3 Q-tips this time. All right, so we're going to put 3 together. You're going to lightly dip in there. Don't forget to cast off a little bit. And we're going to start to create dimension on top of our dry, darker purple. All right, you can see I'm turning it to the side. I want to make sure that even more of the background color is popping out from before. So I'm going to take that light lavender and we're going to go right over it. And I go back and forth. I use this single Q-tip. That gives us our little tips. You can do your little thin tips with the Q-tip. And also the 3-pack as well. And then once you're done with that light lavender and you're happy with the flowers, just go back over and start filling in a little bit more. Give yourself a little more green, a little more texture, just however much you like. So of course you want some of the light to shine through, so you do want open space there. But as you can see, I'm just going to fill in some of those gaps and give a little more texture, color, brightness. And then once it looks good to me is when I stop. All right, and you should be all finished. We hope you enjoyed painting with the Prancing Pig today. Just a little side note, those cork lights don't have a long life. You can always put some corded lights in there or use a battery pack with a timer to extend the length of the lighting. Those little cork lights are nice for tablescaping and a special dinner. Well, enjoy your spring and happy painting.